What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be breaking down the matchup of Axe versus Alchemist. I think this is a pretty fun matchup overall because these heroes in lane are pretty weird in the sense that Alchemist just wants to focus on farming and so does Axe, and Axe doesn't really pose a ton of kill threat onto the Alchemist, especially if there's a decent support in lane with a stun. The Axe could be in a little bit of trouble, and the Alchemist has actually more kill threat because he has a stun, and his acid spray definitely does a lot of work to Axe, who is a strength hero, which means he doesn't have a lot of armor going for him pre-Vanguard. Once he gets Vanguard, there's definitely not much kill threat from the Alchemist perspective, unless the support could definitely just set up stunts for him like a Lion or a Witch Doctor that definitely wants to destroy Axe. Then you're definitely in a little bit of trouble, as Witch Doctor is one of the best supports against Axe, at least in the laning phase. Once the game goes through, it doesn't really do that much, but Malediction is obviously one of the best spells against strength heroes, and it definitely does a lot of work. So Alchemist Witch Doctor is always been a pretty decent lane. Cask will keep you in the acid spray, Malediction destroys strength heroes and just heroes with overall big HP pools. Alchemist acid spray does damage over time with the minus armor from the ability as well, plus this unstable concoction, which does a lot of damage if you max it out. So you definitely need to be careful on the Axe's perspective much more than the Alchemist does, as Alchemist is going to farm no matter what. But one of the things Alchemist doesn't really enjoy about this matchup is that the stronger he gets, the stronger Axe will get as well, because Blade Mail is going to be able to kill the Alchemist much easier, because Alchemist is one of the best Radiance buyers in the game. He definitely enjoys building that item practically every single game, and that's definitely going to be pretty brutal when the Axe blinks calls you, because you're going to be dealing yourself with your right clicks and also the magic damage from the Radiance. You definitely need to be careful, and if I was an Alchemist playing against an Axe, I definitely would not want to build Radiance. I'd definitely go a different item, maybe Sanyasha, to be able to get away from the call much sooner. It's definitely going to be better, as the status resistance does help you a ton in this matchup, so I highly recommend that item against an Axe. Could definitely be a big problem. Axe is one of these heroes that wants to lock you down, and Alchemist is the type of hero that wants to do the jump. So if you're able to lock him down and your team has enough burst damage, the Alchemist is going to be food every single time you get jumped. So you need to be very careful, play the outskirts of the map, and if you can buy a Silver Edge and break the Axe, it's still going to be very difficult for you to pop him if you guys don't have burst damage on your team. So that's kind of where the matchup strays a little bit, where the Axe wants to be jumping the Alchemist, but the Alchemist doesn't want to jump the Axe even if he has the opportunity, unless obviously he's at a big numbers disadvantage and the Axe is definitely going to die when he's in a 3 versus 1 situation. Then sure, you can definitely go for plays like that, as they're usually going to be pretty beneficial for you. But if it's on a 1v1 basis, it's very difficult for the Alchemist to win this matchup, as the Axe is going to be super tanky with his armor. He's going to have his Blade Mail call, and he's going to be able to pretty much turn that fight, because you're going to be stronger than him, as Axe doesn't farm with Grievel's Greed. That's Alchemist's ability, so he's always going to be more farmed than the Axe, just by the nature of Grievel's Greed. It's just such a great ability, and it becomes very difficult as the game goes through. The Alchemist is going to keep getting jumped as a priority, as he will definitely just get bursted, and the Axe will do so much damage to him with the blink call, with the Blade Mail, that it's going to make the Alchemist's life a living hell. So I definitely don't recommend playing this matchup if you do see an Axe, especially a proficient Axe player. Then you definitely got to be scared that you're going to be getting jumped all the time. So either you do the initiation and you can jump the backline and keep the Axe busy with a hero like Venomancer, because it's not going to allow him to blink unless he BKBs, and that's definitely something Axe doesn't really want to do. He wants to save that duration for the blink call. He's definitely on the greedier side of the heroes, so you definitely need to make sure the Axe is under control or under vision, or just getting hit by something so he can't blink, and then the Alchemist can go in and do his job. So it's definitely very based on how the team wants to play Dota and how you want to set up team fights. But if the Axe is the one jumping in with this team behind him to burst people, there's pretty much no hero in the game that's going to survive the blink call having burst damage to back him up, and Alchemist is definitely going to be killing himself with his massive attack speed and his Radiance, which he usually tends to buy, and just overall damage from the hero, as he's going to have much more items than the Axe, which is going to benefit the Axe in the long run. Another thing you could do is with the Silver Edge, you start hunting the Axe with your supports, but that's more for the mid lane Alchemist, as carry Alchemist just wants to stay in the jungle, wants to stay away from fights, only wants to join a fight if it's practically a guaranteed win or a guaranteed kill. Otherwise, the Alchemist won't really waste his time, as that's a lot of GPM he's going to be missing out on just for a potential kill on something that's not really worth his time, unless it's the enemy mid laner or carry. Then he can definitely afford the resources to go for that and commit for the kill. But overall, he's definitely just going to focus on his farm, and Axe also takes a little bit of time to come online for his blank. Axe without his blank doesn't really do anything. You can't really close the gap onto any of your enemies, and until he doesn't have blade mail, he can't really do that much damage and go for solo pickoffs, or at least with his teammates he won't be able to have the damage to dish out. So it's definitely a very timing based hero, and so is the Alchemist, until they start meeting against each other, and it all depends who jumps who. This matchup is pretty much Axe favored, so the supports and the mid laner are what's going to make the difference of this matchup to make the Axe's life a living hell, or make the Alchemist's life even worse than it already will be with a pretty competent Axe who pays attention to the map and knows where the Alchemist is and goes for smoke plays to go and kill him, so you don't let him get out of control being 6 slotted at 20 minutes. You definitely need to keep an eye on an Alchemist player, otherwise they're going to snowball out of control, and even an Axe who has a very good matchup against the Alchemist won't be able to stop him. Hopefully you guys did understand this matchup. I like would be much appreciated. If you guys want to see more matchup videos, leave a recommendation down below for what matchup you guys would like to see next. This overall goes to the Axe in my opinion. It's a much better matchup for him, as he can do a lot more damage and do a lot more control to the Alchemist rather than what the Alchemist can do to the Axe. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.